What's good, everyone? This your main correspondent, Alan Taylor, and I'm back in the broadcast room yet again, always with another one. And yes, indeed, it is another one. So this is where we at. Apparently, of course, we've been seeing all over the news and things like that, they've been rounding up these illegal stuff like that. So apparently a flight went out to Colombia to return some Colombian citizens. And Colombia's president rejected the flights and things like that. Wouldn't even let them land. It's crazy out here. So yes, it's going to break down to this. And immediately through some point, of course, they had to change their minds. All right. So we're about to dive off into this. Let's go here now, people. Quarters, nickels, and dimes.
President Trump says he is ordering visa restrictions and stiff trade tariffs on Colombia, which supplies the U.S. with much of its coffee and flowers. On social media, Secretary of State Marco Rubio wrote that Colombian President Gustavo Petro had authorized flights, but then canceled them when the planes were in the air. In a defiant...
I want to interrupt. Colombia, that ain't the only thing they import over here. I'm just being honest. Coffee and flowers. Okay, yeah. All right, Colombia.
Response. The Colombian leader wrote, quote, "Your blockade does not scare me." Deportations from the U.S. will ramp up in the days ahead, according to Trump's border czar, Tom Homan.
You're going to see the numbers steadily increase, the number of arrests nationwide as we open up the aperture. Right now, it's concentrating public safety threats, national security threats.
On Face the Nation, Vice President J.D. Vance was asked if he supports the idea of conducting raids at schools or houses of worship, a move sharply criticized by the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops.
We're going to enforce immigration law. We're going to protect the American people.
As President Trump prepares for the second week of his second term in the White House, he's set to meet with congressional Republicans at their annual retreat being held at his Doral Resort here in Miami.
This week on Capitol Hill, senators will grill some of the president's nominees for key positions. They include Secretary of Health and Human Services nominee Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Trump's pick for FBI Director Kash Patel, and his choice for National Intelligence Director Tulsi Gabbard. Christian Benavides, CBS News, Miami.
All right, so this is where we at with that point, you know what I'm saying? And Colombia is trying to, you know what I'm saying, not do the right thing here, but it's at the end of the day, they're not going to have any choice. They're not going to have any choice but to do the right thing and, accept the situation at hand here. So we're going to go here now, and I got Anton Daniels in the broadcast room, and he's going to explain a lot of things here. Shout out to him. If you're not following Anton Daniels, please do so. Great guy, full of information. Let's go here now. Quarters, nickels, and dimes, people.
Moments ago, President Donald Trump says he has issued his first tariff on Colombia after 2 U.S. deportation flights of undocumented migrants were not allowed to land in Colombia. CNN's Steve Contorno is joining us now live from Florida. Steve, tell us more.
Yeah, Fred, just moments ago, Donald Trump reacting to the news that Colombia had blocked planes carrying undocumented migrants from delivering those individuals back to their home country. And Trump now retaliating with tariffs and threats of more tariffs. He said in a post on social media, quote, "I was just informed that the 2 repatriation flights from the United States with a large number of illegal criminals were not allowed to land in Colombia. This order was given by Colombia's socialist president, Gustavo Petro, who is already very unpopular amongst his people. Petro's denial of these flights has jeopardized the national security and public safety of the United States." So he has then goes on to say that he is taking some action against the Colombian government, including a 25% tariff on goods coming from Colombia immediately, and he's threatening to raise that to up to 50% next week. He also is calling for a travel ban and immediate visa revocations on the Colombian government officials and sanctions on party members and family members that support the Colombian government. So, Fred, this is an early example of how Donald Trump's immigration crackdown is already colliding with his foreign policy and trade proposals, and the first of maybe more to come, Fred.
See, a lot of these countries is going, I know Colombia wanted to try it, and we're going to get into what the results of that was in the first place, but a lot of people don't understand that they're going to get the fuck around and find out moment. And you don't want to be the first on that list. He already warned Mexico. He already warned Canada. He's warned a lot of these places that, listen, you don't have no leverage here. We not tripping off of what y'all got going on. It's the reason why all of y'all people are leaving and trying to come here. So what I need.
Right. Amen.
So what's the French
Facts.
places there to think about?
Facts. Now we have to put this shit in perspective out here. This is the real point here. You got all these people leaving Colombia, China, Venezuela, all these places. You got people leaving these places trying to get over here to us. Now, everybody want to sit around here with, Trump, he's going to put these tariffs is going to cost Americans a lot of money. No. They're going to cost these countries a lot of money that ship their goods over here. I believe it was Kevin O'Leary, Shark Tank. If y'all were, well, he did a where he sat down and he had a situation. He talked and he was like, listen, look, he's been dealing with China for a few decades now, and he pays tariffs to ship goods over here. He pays to ship goods over here to America because he has, businesses over in China and stuff like that. But he pays to ship goods over here. That's how tariffs work. Let's not be fools out here. Tariffs, that hurts that country. Tariffs hurt the country that has to ship the goods. And this is just the facts. In America's, like I've always said, America, we are a consumer nation. We are the workhorse of the world. We consume the world's products because we don't, pretty much we don't produce a lot of the little things like TVs, all these, of course, fruits and vegetables, things like that we import from places, things like that. So yes, we are the world's workhorse as well. And it's going to cost them a lot of money to ship their goods over here to us.
Need y'all to do is make your own country great again, and we not gonna have the United States of America suffer at the hands of y'all inability to get y'all countries, which it is kind of like a company, but y'all countries in order. Let's continue to go into the CNN coverage before we go into what the results was, because this was resolved in less than like 30 minutes. But let's continue to go into it and what they had to say.
And then, Steve, how immediate are we talking?
Well, he says in the post that these the 25% tariffs are, quote, an emergency and will go into place immediately. And then in 1 week, the 25% tariff will be raised to 50%, which would be quite a steep climb. Of course, Trump has already proposed sweeping tariffs on many of the U.S.'s trade partners, including a 25% trade tariff on Mexico and Canada that he says might go into effect next month. He is also promising a trade tariff on goods coming from China in recent weeks if they don't negotiate a new deal with the United States. So clearly this has been top of mind for Donald Trump for more than a year. He has said he will use tariffs to get the international players to act in the best interest of the United States and to raise revenue for the country. And we are starting to see him use them as a sort of stick to try to get countries to do the U.S.'s bidding. Fred?
And I think what's so interesting about it is that now you start to see from a government perspective, and this should have been something taught in civics class, but we can also use past situations, even as recent as the last 4 years, to highlight how everything is interconnected. So, for example, your immigration policy is directly connected to your foreign policy, which directly connects to and impacts trade, which obviously impacts business and taxes and so on and so forth. And so being diplomatic And having great relationships while at the same time having leverage makes a huge difference when it comes to negotiating a lot of the things that happen inside of the United States of America. Let's pivot for a minute and see what happens when you stand.
Right. And you know what I'm saying? That's definitely true what Anton just said. Listen, look, people, y'all want to sit around here and think that at the end of the day, though, these tariffs are going to cost Americans all this crazy money. They have to pay to ship their shit here. We don't pay them to ship their shit here. So once they pay to ship their shit here, you know what I'm saying? We could pretty much, you know what I'm saying? We're not truly affected by that because they're paying the highest price to ship their stuff over here.
Stand on business and you actually got a backbone versus giving away everything that happens inside of the United States of America.
Rejected military deportation flights. Colombia blocking 2 U.S. military aircraft from landing in the South American country today, with at least 160 people on board. President Trump now accusing President Petro of, quote, jeopardizing U.S. national security, threatening Colombia with tariffs. Petro releasing a statement saying a migrant is not a criminal and must be treated with the dignity. He is now offering to send his presidential plane to.
So a migrant is not a criminal that has came over here illegally in our country. And then when we do the due diligence as a country and we start to be more responsible instead of how it used to be under the last administration, and we're shipping your people back to you, now you have a problem with it. Your people came over here illegally on top of that. And now you're the humane. It's not like the president of Colombia put those people on a flight first class and ship them over here first class and things like that with Don Perignon and they were eating, $12,000 beluga caviar being shipped over here. No, those people escaped the country of Colombia, came over here to try to get a better life. I get that, but at the same time, though, too, they entered the country illegally. So now we have to uphold our laws and get them back up out of here. Now Colombia want to sit here and try to act stupid about this shit.
And what the French coast is there to think about?
No, sir. We're going to make you pay to ship your goods over here. You want this American dollar, cool, but you're going to have to pay extra if you don't want to take your citizens back, period.
Bring deportees back to Colombia.
And just that fast, right after Trump was like, okay, so you don't want to let the planes land? All right, well, we're going to go ahead and issue a bunch of tariffs everywhere. And guess what? We not done. If you don't take it, because see, listen, let me tell you something. Sanctioning and tariffs, that could literally break a country. It could be a country breaking situation. When we started to sanction Iran and they didn't have any money, and Trump often emphasizes on the campaign trail, they 100% didn't have any ability to be able to fight these wars and stuff. And that's how you know that the war machine and the Democratic Party is a part of the war machine. But we can deep dive. This is an article courtesy of the New York Post that says that Colombia's president buckles under Trump's trade war threat and offers presidential plane all of a sudden for the deportation of the flights. Yeah, we see it. Goes on to say he not only acquiesced over to Trump's demands, he even offered up the official Colombian presidential plane to help shuttle the migrants back to the country, calling it a response to the government's commitment to guarantee decent conditions. So now they're spinning it. Colombia is spinning it, basically saying that, it was just the conditions. And this is what we call trying to save face.
Right. But at the end of the day, though, not only was he trying to save face, at the same time, though, too, he would rather spend that small amount of money to make it seem like he's going to give his people better conditions to get back to their country versus spending that 25% or maybe 50% on them fucking tariffs to ship their goods. You know what I'm saying? They're what y'all saw in the previous video that I showed you guys, the coffee and flowers and things like that, and also other goods that we're not going to mention. You know what I'm talking about, from Colombia, you know, and yeah. So, you know, it is what it is out here. It is what it is out here. So yeah, it's a renege on the situation. Real talk. You know, he woke up. Colombia is not a superpower. He does not have the power and the things that he need to do to make America buckle, because we are the workhorses of the world. The American dollar still holds a little bit of weight in society, and it just is what the fuck it is. Period.
The government of Colombia, under the direction of President Gustavo Petro, has arranged the presidential plane to facilitate the dignified return of the compatriots who are going to arrive in the country today in the morning, coming from deportation flights. Goes on to say, I'm sorry, let me close that out real quick. Goes on, and that's the Colombian president right there, President Gustavo Petro. Petro, for a lot of y'all that may not necessarily be familiar. The short-lived battle of wills between the world leaders kicked off this weekend when the U.S. sent a pair of military flights loaded with deported Colombian migrants as a part of the Trump administration's pledge to crack down on illegal aliens. Defiant, he initially refused entry of the Colombian migrants from the U.S. and insisted the U.S. cannot treat those being deported as criminals.
But they are, though. They entered our country illegally. And that's illegal. Now Americans can't go to Colombia illegally and just say we're gonna come here and then they're gonna give us these vouchers and these cards and stuff like that, like we've been giving to these immigrants and stuff like that the past 4 years, and things that leaving receipts in bodegas for $13,000 and shit worth of government money, taxpayer money, and stuff like that. No, we can't go over there and just be like, yeah, we're going to come here and live. You know, and y'all need to give us money to live. We can't do that with these other countries, but they have the audacity to think that they could just allow their people that are trying to escape their country, because that's what this is. They're trying to escape their countries and come over here for the better way of living. If America was such trash, if America was such a bad place and things like that, why are all these other people around the damn world trying to come here all the damn time? What the hell is going on?
And what the French toast is there to think about?
First round of deportations under Trump has targeted migrants with criminal records and deportation orders. He said the United States must establish a protocol for the dignified treatment of migrants before we receive them. I actually was looking at some of the videos and the conversations that was being had as far as how the migrants felt and whether or not they felt like they was dignified and all of this other type of stuff. And basically what was happening was they was complaining about the fact that they had to ride in a cargo plane. It wasn't comfortable, like taking a Delta flight like they might have took to get here. They complained about, not having mineral water.
So you got third world people out here complaining about not having mineral water. Complaining about not having mineral water. Okay.
Not having mineral water and being told to hold it when y'all before y'all can use the restroom and so on and so forth. And I don't know if y'all have ever seen those cargo planes, but the cargo planes are the ones that like they drop off the humanitarian aid, the big back of it goes down. It's not like getting on a regular plane, on a regular flight like the Biden administration was using to fly migrants over here. We're gonna go ahead and get them back out of there. And so we establishing a norm to say if you come over here, you're going to get turned away. It's a strong possibility you're not going to get in. And if you just so happen to escape, we're going to find you and we're going to send you back to your country of origin. And I think that that's how we should be using taxpayer dollars. This is what the people voted for. Most people understand that this is the wave. And if you don't understand it, then you're going to find out sooner or later. But he not playing no games. I mean, honestly, he's done more in this short amount of time not even a week since he's been in office. It's literally not even been a full 7 days. He's done more to establish superiority between countries and to say we're not going to deal with this nonsense inside of our country. Let me know what y'all think inside of the chat.
Right. Shout out to Anton.
And what the French toast is there to think about?
Right. Shout out to Anton Daniels. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. It's just common sense out here at this point. It's just real common sense. And these are the facts. You know what I'm saying? These people, these other countries can't stipulate these things that we got going on over here. They're not going to tell us that they're not going to take their citizens back when their citizens actually escape their country to come over here. But then, too, you know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, then, you got a problem with us sending your people back. But then why your people so hard pressed to come over here with us? What you got going on in your country, Mexico, Colombia, China, you know what I'm saying, Venezuela, what y'all got going on, other countries, stuff like that? What y'all got going on in your country where your people so hard pressed to leave your country, try to sneak in by the bottom of our borders, or either take the CBP program and things like that to get over here? Why y'all people so worried about getting over here with us? If we such a trash country, or America's not this and that and things like that, and they have this America dream, why are they so worried about getting over here with us if y'all countries is so pleasurable out there? This is crazy. This is crazy. So yeah, obviously Colombia decided to get in line, but it is what it is though. Shout out to all my subscribers. Mad love to y'all. If you're new to the channel, please hit that like, share, subscribe button. Make sure you ring that bell to be notified whenever I decide to post things. And like I always say,
and that, my friends, is the bottom line.
That, my friends, is the bottom line.